grab your popcorn and get ready because the drama never ends in this top 5 best LankyBox storytime videos ever.
From getting betrayed by our girlfriend to cheating with our crush in school, these stories will keep you at the edge of your seat.
And watch until the end for a top secret LankyBox story that we've never released before.
Let's go!
Adam, this is a continuation of the online girlfriend story with Amy and X, okay?
Oh, with X, okay.
A lot of people in the comments were saying, who is X? Now, in that animation, we gave X an anonymous face.
Wait, what did she actually look
X
like?
was actually, like, pretty attractive. She was pretty tall and just like, you know, a normal looking person. This is part 2 of that story.
Okay.
That story that I told last time, we were in 5th grade, right? Now, after 5th grade, we all graduate, we go to middle school, right? That's 6th grade,
Yeah.
right? Now, Amy actually ended up going to a different middle school, so she was gone. She was out of my life.
Oh.
Back then, I didn't have no Instagram, I didn't have no DMs.
You didn't have any friends?
True. I had no self-confidence. But X went to the same school as me, the same middle school. In elementary school, you're in a class with your grade. Like it's 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Middle school, you start to take classes with older kids.
So there's like a bunch of like tiny 6th graders and some like scary 8th graders in the same class.
Exactly, like the cool older kids, and you're like, You remember when you had lunch in middle school? There's like the nerds, that's me, all the little 6th graders, and there's like the cool older kids that like hang out together. I was friends with X, who, if you guys remember, was a year older than me. So I actually sat with her at the cool kids table sometime. Now, a lot of the cool kids were like, what is this kid doing here? Why does he keep talking about maple syrup? But it was cool. I got to sit at the cool kids table because she was older and I kind of knew her. Right? So X and I, you know, we're friends. I was just chilling. I was trying to find my way through middle school. Now, I'm gonna be real for a minute, okay? Middle school is a very sensitive time in people's lives. You know, people are starting to form an identity, a sense of self. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't have that many friends, as of course, okay? No girls are into me.
What's new?
What has changed? Nothing. X was one of my closer friends. It was somebody that I really trusted, and she let me into her cool table. I was like, wow, like, this person is close to me. Now, there were some strange signs I noticed along the way. Again, young Justy has no idea what's going on with girls, but there were some signs where I was like, what is this? What is happening? I had a small group of friends, mostly guys. We're all nerds, you know, chilling, playing on the computer and stuff, and we went to go see a movie. X invited herself to come along. I was like, oh, like, you know, that's
She would be the only girl that went?
Yeah, and she's older than us by a year. I was like, oh, that's fine, right? That's chill. And so we get to the movie theater, and somehow, I don't remember exactly how, she convinced us. She was like, there's not enough seats in this row. Me and Justy are gonna sit here. You guys sit in the row in front.
Oh, it's like an empty theater. Yeah. All your friends are like,
Again, we all were just completely shy, didn't really know. We were introverted. We were like, oh.
So you didn't realize that she was clearly hitting on you?
No, I did not think that. No. We were all just like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. We just went along with it, right? Because we were like innocent. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Then I remember this other time. Do you remember middle school dances?
Oh.
This right here is the king of middle school dance. Adam on the dance floor.
A lot of stuff went down at middle school dances. At ours, it was literally like a bunch of like 6th graders all dancing, but a bunch of adults were standing right next to them, and you couldn't touch each other on the dance floor. So we would like literally be like,
hey, break it up!
I actually, this is not a joke at all. I actually won an award at my middle school dance for the weirdest dancer. That's not a joke.
Wow, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Good job. I never went to a school dance. But X would always come up to me and be like, hey, you should come to the next dance. You should come to the next dance. And I thought she just did that to everybody. You know, because she was like a pretty outgoing person, pretty social, and I was introverted. Again, I did not see the obvious signs here. I was just like, I'm not going to these dances. No, I actually did go one time because she put so much pressure on me to go. I went once, and I was just so uncomfortable the whole time. I was just sitting there on the side.
Just watching people dance.
I don't know how to, I still don't know how to dance, honestly. I was very uncomfortable. I was like, man, why did I do that? And it was just because this person had pressured me into going. Now, those were just 2 instances where there was something obvious going on, but I just didn't know what was going on. And I remember I was hanging out with my friends, all those guys, playing video games, and people were like, what's going on with you and X? And I was like, we're just friends. I genuinely thought we're just friends. I was just inexperienced. I didn't understand what was happening. So I was like, oh, nothing. We're just pals, right? And they're like, don't you think it's a little bit weird? Now, there was a third instance, and this was the game-changing betrayal. Okay, now to set this up, I will be telling this in a future story about this girl that I had a crush on. So to clarify, there's me, there's X, and now there's another girl that I had a crush on.
Oh, so during this whole part, you liked another girl?
Yes.
Not X?
No. Oh, I thought we were just friends. So I'm gonna tell the story of how me and that girl actually ended up dating in one of the next animated stories. But at this time, X was my only friend who was a girl. I had this crush on this other girl. Her name was Sarah. And I remember I went up to X one day. We were sitting at the lunch table. I remember this so clearly. And X kept trying to tease it out of me. She's like, what's going on? I was like, oh, like I think I like this girl, whatever. And X was like, oh, who is it? Now I realize X thought I was talking about her. Ultimately, I told her, I was like, oh yeah, it's this girl, Sarah. And I remember her face just totally changed. It went from being like, oh yeah, tell me, like, oh, this is so fun, to being like, it's like me when I realize he spent my money. I'm like, hey, who authorized this? Not me. Not me. Definitely not me.
Okay, so X found out you like Sarah, and she was just totally changed.
Because she thought it was her the whole time. So I remember her face totally changed. And she goes, wait, so you don't have a crush on me? And I was like, no. And she goes, well then what did I break you and Amy up for?
Wait, what?
That's what she said to my face.
She admitted that to you?
She said it to my face. I looked at her, I said, what? She said that to my face. She said, well then what did I even break you and Amy up for?
That's so cold.
I was deceased. Now, a lot of people in the comments of the previous video had guessed that this was why she done it. After that, she just never talked to me ever again. She never allowed me to sit at the cool table again. Well, I mean, I didn't really want to talk to her at that point because I realized, like, wow, I got played.
Yeah.
I remember after she told me that, I remember for the rest of the day, I just felt sick. Like, I just wanted to go home. My chest hurt. I was so confused because I realized, like, wow, I had this awesome relationship with a girl named Amy and it got broken up with because of this person who just manipulated me.
Yeah.
Straight up manipulation.
You actually, I mean, it's probably smart because you could have actually accidentally dated her and had like a really messed up relationship.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. That would have been even worse, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, now I'm gonna get a little bit serious for a minute. A lot of our viewers out there who are at a sensitive time in their lives, that's not just age. Like, you could be in middle school or high school or college. You could be going through things. You could be finding yourself as a person. It is very easy when you are in a period of searching for who you are to be manipulated. You know what I mean? And I look back on this story now and it's like, haha, hee hee, like whatever. But the key here is it was because I did not listen to myself and how I really felt. Because the whole breakup with Amy was due to X coming in and playing with my head.
Yeah.
If I had just not listened to her, I said, no, I'm gonna trust myself, I would have stayed with Amy. And it was the same thing with all these like events. If I just been like, hey, I don't really want to go to a dance, I'm not gonna do it. If I had just hadn't caved into peer pressure, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, on one hand, I'm like, look, I got manipulated, I got bamboozled pretty hard. On the other hand, I'm like, you know, I should have believed in myself and trusted my instincts a little bit more. So to everybody out there at home, a little heartwarming message to everybody, okay? Be true to who you are. Don't get manipulated by sneaky people in the DMs. I would have been crushed at the end of the story if it hadn't been for my really small circle of friends. Because
the ones that you pushed off at the movie theater.
I didn't push them off. X did it. It wasn't me.
The one at the movie theater, Justin's like, oh, okay, go away. Just take some popcorn. Just go over there.
More for me.
But actually, though, I'm actually really excited for this Sarah story.
Guys, part 3 of this story is coming soon.
It sounds intense.
It's pretty crazy.
Make sure to subscribe if you want to see that, and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And now we gotta clean up this popcorn, man. But now that we're friends, we can clean it up together.
Oh yeah.
And maybe hug and sing songs while we do it. Now, today we're gonna be telling some of the stories of the scariest days of our lives.
Oh man. Adam, I'm gonna tell my story first. This was a story in which I almost actually perished.
Really?
Yes, I was almost swept off the face of the earth by a crazy clown. This takes place when I was in high school. Now, in high school, I didn't have a car. So I relied on, sometimes my friends had cars, they would drive me around, whatever, or my parents could give me a ride, or I could take the public transportation, okay? I was hanging out with my friend at school, and we were both into playing video games.
Okay.
So he was like, you know what, you should come over. We should play some video games together. It's gonna be crazy. I'm like, oh, let's do it. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I actually just got the new gaming console, and I've been saving up my allowance, I got the new console. I could bring it over to your house. We could play it together.
Okay.
He's like, oh man, let's go. I said, but there's one problem. I don't have a car. I can't get there.
Right.
He's like, no problem. My parents can come pick you up after school and we can all go together. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, done. Easy.
Now, have you been to this friend's house before?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
But, I was like, we've been friends for a while, so, it don't matter.
Right.
The day comes, I actually brought my console in my backpack to school. And so after school on Friday, his parents came and picked us up and we went to his house together. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but his house just happened to be located in a pretty sketchy part of town.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that at the time. I was like, wow, whatever. So we get to his house, it's actually going fine. We're sitting there playing video games, chilling, having a great time, drinking some soda pop, eating some chips, having a jolly old time. Pretty deep into the night, we're still playing video games. And I'm not gonna say this happens often, but I felt a little rumble in my tummy. So it was late, it was probably like midnight. And I had a stomach ache. I was like, oh man.
Too much like soda and pizza and
I had one too many donuts. Clearly. Honestly, I was prepared to like sleep over, right? Friends sleep over.
Right.
I was like, I gotta go home.
Oh, you're getting sick.
I was getting sick. I was actually sick. I was like, I gotta go. But the problem was his parents were asleep. Okay, his parents were asleep. I couldn't get a ride back home.
Oh, right.
Okay, so I was like, no problem. I'll take the bus. I'm very good at taking the bus. This will be no problem. But like I said, this was not the nicest neighborhood. And so I realized about 2 minutes after leaving his house, I was standing in a sketchy neighborhood at night holding a video game console. I was like, this might not be the best idea. Okay, the bus finally arrives. I'm like, thank goodness. Okay, that took long enough. I get on the bus, I pay my change, and I go sit in the back. And I sit down with my little game console.
Okay,
no
so
problem.
far this sounds pretty good.
Except,
no.
After I get on the bus, one other person gets on the bus with me. Only one. And this guy literally looked like a crazy clown. I don't understand why to this day. He had like eye makeup on. Like his hair was like normal, but it was like very thin. It was like wispy, you know what I mean? It was literally like an empty bus, except for me. And he walked all the way and like sat basically like 2 seats away from me. So I'm starting to panic a little bit. I said, The doors closed, right? We start moving. And the guy just turns over and looks at me. I'm very confused. I don't like it. I get uncomfortable. And what do I do when I get uncomfortable, Adam?
You sweat?
No, usually I try to get a snack, but I couldn't eat anything.
All right.
So I start to panic because I don't know where I'm at. I'm holding a game console. This guy's staring at me. There's no one else. He looks like a clown and I got no food. So, what do? I make one of the worst decisions of my life and I yank the bus line. I'm like, I'm getting off at the next stop.
Oh, no.
I didn't even wait to get home. Now, I was thinking in the back of my mind, it's whatever. That was weird. Just a weird bus ride. I'll just walk home. It's no problem. The guy was maybe dressed up for a YouTube video. You don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get off and I start walking. Then I realize this guy also got off the bus at the same time.
No.
So I'm trying to do that thing where you walk really fast, but you're not trying to look like you're running.
Right.
Because I was like, if I start running, this guy's gonna run after me. Like,
and your stomach is just gonna explode.
There's too many donuts. I'm thinking, like, what do I do? Because this guy's straight up following me. And to make matters worse, I did not have a cell phone at this time. So I'm like, is this the end of Just Eat Chromie as we know it? I use all of my remaining IQ brain power. I realize I need to find a store that's open late at night and go inside the store. I find a convenience store that's open 24 hours a day, and I walk there. The parking lot is empty. I look around, and the clown is suddenly gone. I am very confused, but then there's one car parked in the parking lot. and the door opens, and this bald guy gets out and starts walking towards me.
Wait, was it the clown?
It was not the clown. It was a different guy. I was like, did the clown just eat this guy? Where did this guy even come from? I'm saying I'm going into the store. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I go into the store, and the bald guy follows me into the store. You already know I'm going straight to the chip aisle. Trying to hide in some Lay's, okay? Trying to mind my own business. This guy comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder. At this point, I'm pretty shook. I'm like, what is happening? I said, this might be it, Adam. Justy might have perished on this day. He starts to reach into his coat pocket and he pulls out a badge and says, hello, I'm Officer Kennedy.
He was a police officer?
He was an undercover police officer patrolling the parking lot at night. So he was wearing regular clothing and he says, where did you get this game console? He thought I stole the game console. I explained the entire story to him, the clown. At this point, do I realize how crazy I must sound because the clown was not there? He's like, what is this kid talking about? I told him the whole story and then I made it home safely.
Really?
Yes, that's a true story.
Dude.
Yeah.
He probably didn't believe you because you told him you were at your friend's house. And that would require you to have friends. And he would just look at you and know that's a lie.
Why you gotta expose me?
This kind of leads into my story, which also involves one of my friends. Now, I was a bit younger. I was actually in middle school when this happened. So me and my friend, Ben, at the time, were like, okay, let's have a sleepover on Friday night. We were really close friends. Now, I was like, okay, come over to my place. We can like play video games. We can hang out. We can sleep over. It's gonna be really fun. So to set this story up, basically my house is like a normal house, right? But in the backyard, we have a fence, and outside of the fence, there's a big forest.
Okay.
So I was like, Ben, think of how like cool and brave we would look if we went into the haunted forest at night and we could like tell all our friends about it. He was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, at 3 a.m. at night when my parents are asleep, we're gonna sneak out and go into the forest.
3 a.m.?
Yeah, because I don't want my parents knowing or like hearing that I was like leaving the house. So we stayed up playing video games like 3 a.m. We're like, okay, dude, like it's really late. Like let's like go. Like this is our chance. We go into my backyard. We open the fence. And we see this massive dark forest.
Oh, man.
Just pitch black. So I turn on my flashlight and I could see like maybe like 5 feet in front of me. And we're like, okay, like I guess this is it. Let's just go.
This is still a good idea.
Yeah, so we like slowly start walking forward. And like you could definitely hear like it was probably like false. You could hear like the crumpling of leaves as we stepped on them. So I'm like leading the way with the flashlight. I'm like looking, kind of scanning across, making sure like we don't like trip over any like fallen trees or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're walking, like no one's saying anything. It's like pitch darkness.
Yeah.
I turn around and I heard like crackling leaves like 20 feet in a different direction, like to my side.
No, tell me he's still there.
So I was like, oh, like maybe he like went over to that path or whatever.
No.
So I was like, Ben? Nothing. I didn't hear anything. And then I heard in the distance back by my house, he was like, Adam, I went back.
What? Ben left you for dead.
Dude, I think he got scared and like turned around, but like didn't like tell me. Cause I was like way in front with the flashlight.
Adam, some friends you got.
So then I'm standing there and I'm like, wait a minute. If he's back there, what was the noise I just heard?
Oh no.
I was like, Ben? And he's like, Adam, just turn back. It's fine. Like, just come back to the house.
Just come back to the sound of my voice, Adam.
Immediately, like, when that happened, like, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I could tell something was off.
Oh.
Like, I got that sensation that, like, something or someone was watching me. So I'm standing there, because I'm like, I don't want it to, like, know where I am, so I turn off the flashlight.
What?
I'm in pitch black.
Wait, there's something moving around you?
Yeah, like, actually. And I could tell, like, it's, like, getting closer.
What?
Yeah.
Just run!
No, I was too scared. I was like, if I run, it's gonna chase after me. So like, maybe if I just stay still, it won't see me. So I'm standing there just terrified for my life. I don't know what to do. I'm like, this is a terrible idea. I'm like, I could tell it getting closer and closer. I turn on the flashlight because I'm like, if I'm gonna die, I might as well just see what's about to happen.
Oh.
I quickly point the flashlight and I see this giant rabbit just sitting there. Like the rabbit was just like hopping around.
Was it kooky?
No, it was not kooky.
He hopping around
No.
in the middle of the forest to give you that wow.
No, it was this giant rabbit that was making the noise.
Wow.
And like this giant relief just washed over me. So I like sprinted back home as fast as I could. I got back to my mom's house and like I actually felt like so cool. Like I felt like, wow, like I'm actually such a bad boy.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna be telling you a pretty crazy story today.
Okay.
It is the story of when I cheated with my crush in middle school.
What are you talking about?
This happened when I was in 8th grade. As you guys know, when I was younger, I was very shy, I was very skinny and lanky, and no girls really ever talked
That's
to
not
me.
any different now.
Okay, so in 8th grade, I had a crush on a girl named Amber,
Uh-huh,
right? She was one of the more popular girls.
Yeah.
Had a lot more friends than me.
It's not harder to have more than 0. But okay, continue.
And she had a boyfriend at the time named Jacob.
Uh-huh.
Now, Jacob, I want you to picture basically me, except for a little taller, a lot more muscular, better looking, funnier, more handsome. Basically just me, but better.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to find a way to convince her to leave Jacob
Yes.
and become my girlfriend instead.
You were trying to get her to cheat?
Well, no, I'm not trying to get her to cheat.
Adam, you're a bad influence on our audience. Guys,
no.
do not do this.
No, I had to prove to her that I was better than Jacob. And what did I have that was better than Jacob? I was
A
smarter.
bigger neck.
No.
Right, the brain. But also you had the ability to reach the sweetest fruit on the trees. Did you ever try that? You're gonna be like, hey,
No.
I could grab the sweetest fruits, and Jacob cannot.
Me and Amber were in the exact same math class. Okay, and
Yeah.
we were getting ready for this big test.
Yes.
So the teacher gave us this big practice packet of problems to work on.
Oh, that's the worst.
I know,
it's
right?
the test before the test.
Exactly. But he said you could partner up with someone. So I was like, okay, here's my chance. I'll partner up with Amber.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, right. Like you came over like, hey Amber, want to be partner? Yeah, right.
Well-
it was probably everyone else had a partner, and Amber was like, I gotta go work with this Adam kid in the corner.
Well, she knew I was smart. As I was saying, I got paired up with Amber.
Yeah?
I was like, here's my chance.
Yeah.
We're gonna be partners. We're gonna work through this packet.
Time to flex these big brain
Exactly.
muscles.
I was like, Amber, we should work on this outside of class, so let me get your number.
Oh yeah, right.
That
right. Yeah, right, Adam. Hey, to the animator, could you just do something where Adam's character has a big nose, like Pinocchio, like it gets longer over the course of this video? Why would you lie?
I'm not lying.
You told me to come here so you could tell me a little story. You
Yeah.
didn't tell me to come here so you could tell me a bunch of lies. All right, whatever. All right,
So
keep
we
going.
exchanged contact information. I was like, yo, Amber, let's work on this. We'll work through the packet. Don't worry, I got you. I know how to do most of this stuff. Now, I'm gonna be honest, most of the time we were just talking about, okay, what did you get for question 16? We would text each other back and forth, make sure we got the same answers right. I tried to flirt a little bit through text. You know, I might have,
You
talked
were
about
like-
my Pokemon cards, which I still collected in 8th grade.
Hey, Amber. What's 1 + 1? Guess what? It's less than 3. Justin with those high IQ math pickup
I
lines.
get it, because it looks like a heart.
You really had to explain that.
So we worked through the practice test together, right? It was all great. We did well. There was this big test on Friday. That was what we were practicing for. So the day comes, it's Friday. I'm already in the class because I get to class kind of early. She walks in, she's like, hey Adam, like, thanks for working with me. By the way, I didn't really study and I don't think I'm gonna do well on this test. Could I copy off you?
Yo, that's why she picked you as her partner. You got used for your math skills.
Yeah. Now I was put in a very tricky situation because do I say, no, sorry Amber, you can't copy and ruin the chance of me getting with her? Or do I say yes, then she copies off me, she gets a good grade, and then she falls in love with me?
You know how people say, oh, that person's a gold digger?
Yeah.
She was a grave digger. Are you serious? She used you. You got played.
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I
You let her
cheated.
cheat. You let her cheat?
I let her cheat. Yep, I said, all right, Amber.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You compromised your morals. just to get, I don't even know, you thought you make this a girlfriend?
My plan was she copies off me. She gets a good test grade. Then she's like, okay, when I work with Adam, good things happen in my life. I should date him and then more good things will happen in my life. It doesn't really make sense when I say it now, but 8th grade Adam, I didn't really think that far.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't have a girlfriend up until then, so I didn't know what to do.
This is the only way you knew how to impress a girl was to cheat.
Or Pokemon cards.
Or
one of the two has to work.
you're like, okay, well, I whipped out my Pikachu on her and it didn't impress her. So now I gotta just break the law.
So now the teacher passes out the test. We're in the middle of it. She sits right next to me. I can see that she's copying off me. I kind of do one of these, you know, where I'm kind of leaning. I kind of let her look at my test. We both take the test. I felt great about it. I was like, I know I already aced this.
Adam, you realize this story is about how you cheated and lied. So why would I believe anything you're telling me?
Because I'm not in 8th grade anymore.
You still play with Pokemon cards? Not much has changed.
So she cheats off me. We both finish the test, we both turn it in, and then we just kind of sit back down and wait for the bell to ring as other people finish.
How did you feel? Did you feel good about yourself?
I didn't feel good, but I realized that, okay, now that worked, I can go talk to her more and be like, hey, I already have your number. Hey, do you want to maybe, you know, hang out with me?
At this point, she's still dating Jacob? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I cannot be around you, Adam. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Is it that cringy?
Dude, this is literally like, you know how sometimes you see in a movie, it's like the girl is with the not so good guy, and then she learns that the nice guy was the right guy along.
Yeah.
That's like you, except she doesn't end up with you.
So we finished the test.
Yes.
All is good. I'm like, this is my chance. The bell rings, all the kids start to leave, and then the teacher says, Adam and Amber, can you stay after?
Oh, no.
And my heart sank.
Yeah.
Especially when I was younger, I did not like getting in trouble. I was very teacher's pet. And when he said, Adam and Amber, can you stick around? I went so pale. Because I realized, like, oh no, what is he gonna ask? All the other kids leave, me and Amber are still sitting there. And the teacher's like, so I know that you guys were cheating off of each other because you guys have the same answers. I know that one of you was copying off the other. Who was it?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. You're gonna say you took the fall. Is that how you're gonna end this story? Do it, Dumbo. Lie.
I didn't lie.
Lie to me and everyone else. That's how you're gonna end the story? You're gonna say, I heroically took the fall for Amber.
In my brain.
In your shining armor.
You have to realize, my priorities, it was like, get a girlfriend was number 1. Be a good person was like below that. I had to do anything. I was desperate. So I was like, I didn't want to throw her under the bus. So I took the bus.
Oh, yeah, right. Adam. End this story. Timmy says, why? Why you lie? Why you lie to us? Why you lie?
I kind of got in trouble. He basically said, I'm disappointed in you guys. So me and Amber walk out of class together, heads down, we're all embarrassed. And her boyfriend was also in that same class. So he was waiting for her outside. He was waiting for her to walk to the next class. And he was basically like, oh, Amber, like, what happened? And she was like, oh, we got caught cheating. And then he's like, oh, weird. And then they both just walked away. And I was left alone. Like, that was my chance. I was waiting for her to be like, oh, like, Adam took the fall, and now I'm gonna get with him. Sorry, Jacob. But then they just walked off together holding hands, and I was just there, embarrassed and sad.
Even when you make things up, it still ends up sad.
It's not made up.
Why didn't you just make up a happy ending? Why didn't you just say at the end, she threw Jacob aside and leapt into my arms?
Because that's not what happened.
Your nose already about this big. Just keep going.
This teaches you that cheating does not ever pay off.
It teaches you also that lying on the internets does not make you look cooler. There is a 0% chance. 0% chance.
What do you think happened? Lay it out for me. What do you actually think happened?
Here's what I think happened. Here's the whole story. Adam is sitting in class staring at Amber like this. Like this, and she's with Jacob. They're just perfectly nice people. I'm sure very smart. Adam's in the back, like the guy in the anime who's just in the back, like that, just staring. He's coated in sweat. Today, the story I'm gonna be telling you and the Lanky fam is the origins of the CEO of Just Be Corp International Inc., aka Chief Thickness Officer, aka #1 businessman.
You!
Yes! Okay, I'm gonna tell you about how when I was in 3rd grade, I started my very first business for a school project. It was called the Paperclip Pals. And I have to, hold on. Let me explain. Stop. Let me explain. Now, like any good story, I started my business for one reason. Can you guess what that is?
A girl.
Yes, it was not for
Really?
money. It was to win the girl. Yes, I was in 3rd grade, okay, and there was a girl in my class named Janice. I'm the quiet kid sitting in the back of the classroom, and I'm like, Janice? Justy, our names kind of sound the same.
JJ.
It's faked. It's
JJ.
It's faked. It's faked.
J and Bay.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that.
True, okay. I was a very quiet kid in 3rd grade, okay, very well behaved, okay. Actually, the teacher had a system in class back in 3rd grade where everybody's name was on a board. Did you guys have this?
Yeah.
With like the cards.
Yup.
Dude, this is child abuse. I will be honest, okay? We had everybody's name up on the wall and everyone had a card and it starts green.
Yup.
And if you misbehave,
You get a yellow.
you got a yellow. And if you misbehave again,
You get a red.
you get a, and then your parents have to get talked to by a teacher. Okay, now you already know there's a bunch of yellow on the board, there's a bunch of red, because you know kids misbehaving. Hey,
What color were you, Justin?
Hey, you already know I was all green. I was the best behaved kid in class. I honestly was well behaved, but honestly part of it was because I tried to impress Janice. I was like,
So you thought if you didn't get in trouble, she'd be like, wow, that guy never gets in trouble. I don't like dating bad boys. I want a good boy. I'm gonna get with Justin.
yes, exactly. I had not yet listened to Red Velvet. I didn't know girls like bad boys. I thought she wanted a good boy. Basically, in 3rd grade, I was very awkward, very shy. But I thought, look, if I want to get noticed by Janice, I gotta do something crazy. I gotta stand out. You know what I mean? So, our final project in 3rd grade, it was a paper airplane competition.
Okay, so this was like the big final project at the end of the year.
Oh,
that was
man.
like a big part of your grade.
I was sweating. I was crunching the numbers.
I can imagine you on your laptop. You got Maple Story in one tab and like a paperclip document in the other, and you're just typing like crazy.
I got the NASA documents, like the aerodynamics. No, okay. So this is a class-wide competition. It's every kid versus every kid. Only one winner will emerge. It's like the Hunger Games, but in 3rd grade. But instead of attacking people, we had paper airplanes, okay? I thought if I won, Janice will notice me. And also, after the contest, we were gonna have an ice cream party.
Oh.
So that was my chance.
Okay, so your goal was to win the paper airplane contest.
Yes.
Then take Janice, after you've impressed her, on a date to the ice cream party.
Oh, I was gonna ask for her hand in marriage
Now,
at the party.
had you talked to Janice at all before this?
Not once in my life.
Did she know you existed?
I don't. Looking back on it, not at all. Actually, I have to explain how this contest works. There's a bunch of different events, like who can get their plane the farthest,
Right.
Whose plane can stay in the air the longest, or who could like hit a target like the most accurate. The key was everybody starts with a different resource. So you might have like tape. I had paper clips. That's what I was assigned. Okay, someone else had scissors, and so the whole idea is everyone needs to work together and trade like a business.
Oh, so you would be like, I'll trade you 10 paper clips to use your scissors.
Yes,
something
exactly.
like that.
And the scissors guy would be
okay.
like, you can only have them for 5 minutes. And you'd be like, how about for 7 minutes if I throw in another paper clip? It was very intense. So you already know I had my little desk, my little table, and I made a little sign in the front that was called Paperclip Pals. I sell paper clips.
Well, you didn't have friends, so it would have been paperclip pal. Just one. Just one pal.
Paperclip person. It's just me. Look, I had no friends, and also nobody wanted to buy paper. Why would you use a paperclip on a plane?
It would weigh it
That's
down.
the dumbest thing I ever heard. So I was just
Sweating. No one wants it.
no business a little bit slow today. But I thought, look, I need to get really good with one sheet of paper. I got one sheet and that's it. I got no other resources. It was me versus everybody else. It was like I was in an anime. Let's go. I had one friend back then. She didn't go to school with me. She was like a neighborhood friend.
Was it your mom?
It was my grandma. It was a girl my age and her name was Natalie. She was like a neighborhood friend.
Why didn't you like her? She actually talked to you.
I don't know. My IQ had not yet reached 900 by this point.
Oh.
I didn't understand how romance worked. One of Natalie's hobbies was origami.
Okay.
And she used to teach me about folding, about all this different stuff. So actually, I was getting private lessons in the art of paper sorcery. So all these kids out here trading their resources for scissors, I'm like, I could just fold this and rip it.
Okay, this sounds a lot like Natalie liked you and you didn't realize it until like 5 years later. Like, she's teaching you origami. She's probably doing one of these where she's like helping you fold the paper.
Stop touching my hand.
Do you realize she probably liked you?
I realize
you
that
had a
now.
girl that liked you and you traded her for a girl that didn't even talk to you.
That is the story of my life, Adam. I must have folded over 1,000 paper. You just imagine my room covered in airplanes.
It's got like some like Eye of the Tiger like theme action music, just folding paper.
I was sweating. I had a headband. It was legendary. I still had not sold a single paper clip up until this point. But I basically developed the most legendary paper aircraft of all time. Adam, I folded so many of these. I literally spent hundreds of hours. I folded so many of these that even now, I folded one today right here.
Wait, this is the airplane?
This was my airplane.
Is this a joke?
Guys, this is one sheet of paper. It is perfectly aerodynamically crafted to just, this thing,
Wait, this is your paper airplane?
That was my paper airplane.
This is a paper square plane. That was pretty good.
Okay, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
This was going to carry me to my dreams. I could already envision me and Janice on a huge version of this, flying through the galaxy together in love. That was my dream. This is an inspirational story. I turned my weakness into my strength because you know what I did? I said the paperclip pals are closed for business, everybody. I refuse to trade with anyone. You want to know why? Because I stuck all 100 of my paper clips on this thing.
Wait, so you made a square from paper and you just covered it with paper clips?
Yeah, so basically, on the big day
and all the other kids showed up with actual paper airplanes, and then Justy Chroma whipping it out in the back like Yu-Gi-Oh with the secret trap card, just putting it out.
Everybody else had their little planes, little dingy planes. I was basically throwing around like a metal tennis ball. Like it was not even close. People were like, how far can you get? I was just like, it was like I was throwing a rock. I won every event. I smoked everybody.
Really?
With one sheet of paper because it was just a metal ball. I just won. Okay, now.
What did your teacher think? More importantly, what did Janice think?
This is where the story takes a bit of a tragic turn. I thought in my head, Janice, the teachers, everybody, all my classmates must be like, wow, he's so smart. He figured out how to turn his weakness of paper clips into a strength. But you know what was actually happening?
What?
Everyone was just super annoyed and like, this guy cheated. They're like, this guy has no friends, and this is why. He cheated. I was ready. I was like, guys, where's my trophy? And where's Janice? I'm ready to ask for her hand in marriage. But the teacher came up to me and you know what they said?
What?
They said, Justy, you are disqualified.
Really?
I was actually disqualified. And you know what else? They said I had bad sportsmanship and I was banned from the ice cream party.
So you had to sit inside, probably.
I actually did,
in some hot classroom while all the kids, including Janice, are outside.
They were on the field
eating ice cream.
So you know some stories end with, you know, the hero gets the girl, he gets the prize. Or sometimes he just gets one and loses the other.
Yeah.
I lost both.
Okay, I just feel sad now because I'm just picturing everyone just eating ice cream, having a good time, and you just crying, looking at your name with the green next to it, thinking, no, I am loved. People still like me.
You know, Adam, I really did everything I could to try and get Janice to like me. You know, I had the green behavior card. I tried to win the competition to win her heart. I tried to turn into a bad boy, but ultimately, I was left a sad boy. At the end of the day, I know it's a sad story, but I was proud of myself. I turned a disadvantage into an advantage, and I did win. They never said I couldn't do that. They just made up the rules later. There is a real moral here, because I realized, look, hey, the teachers might not like you. The other kids might not like you. Janice might not like you, but I liked myself. I respected myself because I won. I beat the odds. That's the moral of the story.
Today, we're gonna be telling some stories about when we were rejected by our crush. Okay, so I'm gonna start. My story begins when I was in 7th grade, middle school. Now, at this time, I had a group of friends. It was me, Alex, and Kayla.
Okay.
It was a group of 3 people. Alex was my friend. Kayla was a girl who was also our friend. We were like really close. In middle school, we would always just hang out together. We would eat lunch together. We would play Foursquare together. I remember that very clearly.
Foursquare in middle school?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in high school you moved on to playing hopscotch. What you talking about?
So I would always play Foursquare with Kayla and Alex, and it was always really fun. We would always work on assignments together. We were just best friends. I was talking to Alex one day, and he was like, dude, do you think that Kayla likes one of us? And I was like, maybe, like we can ask her and like see.
Oh man.
So we set up this plan where I was like, let's find out if she likes me first. We always would eat lunch together. So I was like, okay, Alex, here's the plan. What if during lunch, I'm gonna pretend to like have to throw away my lunch or like leave for some reason, and then you'll be alone with her and you can ask her without it being like weird. You could be like, hey, do you like Adam? Like that was the plan.
Okay.
So we're at lunch one day. All three of us are sitting there just talking about whatever, school, whatever. I'm like, oh, I have to go throw away my lunch.
Yeah.
And so I stand up and then I start to walk away and I kind of like hit Alex, one of those, to be like, yo, like this is the chance to ask. And so I take like 5 minutes to throw my lunch away to make sure that they have enough time to talk.
Yeah.
And I sit back down and I'm like, okay, and then we just start going back to talking about school or whatever. And I texted Alex that night. I was like, dude, what did she say?
Yeah.
And Alex was like, she doesn't quite know, but she says that she thinks you're cute. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, what's the next step? I gotta ask her to be my girlfriend. There's this school dance coming up, and I think I've touched on this school dance a little bit in the past, but this dance was one of the highlights of my entire middle school.
Okay.
Me, Kayla, and Alex were all at this school dance. It's in the cafeteria. I, for some reason, was very outgoing this year, so I was like doing all types of dances. I was like really like sweaty. I was like burning all types of calories, doing every dance. Like the DJ literally gave me a CD at the end of the dance because he thought I was one of the best dancers.
Yeah, you told us before.
Well, he didn't think I was one of the best dancers.
The weirdest
dancer, but I'll take it. So this dance, I'm like, I'm the life of the party. I'm feeling really good. Like, this is not normal for me.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like dancing with Kayla or whatever. And I was like, hey, do you want to go get like a soda or something? Because they were selling like soda at the dance. She was like, yeah, sure. We're sitting kind of off from where the main dance is taking place. We're drinking a soda. And I was like, oh, this is the perfect time for me to ask. Like, it's kind of dark. Like, there's that atmosphere. Like, you can hear the music in the background, but it's still quiet enough to have like a conversation. We're drinking soda. And I'm like, this is the chance for me to ask her to be my girlfriend. This is like it. I just like got really silent because I was like thinking of how to say it. And she was just kind of like sitting there, like drinking her soda, just like not really sure what was going on. And I literally froze up. Like I couldn't do it for some reason. Like I just like psyched myself out. I was like, oh, maybe she will say no. Like maybe Alex was lying. I don't know. And I ended up just like not asking. And then she was just like, oh, I'm gonna go back to dance. I was like, oh, okay. And I missed my shot. Then we go back to dance. Like it was still all right, but like the whole time after that, after the dance, like I was just like, dude, why didn't I ask her at that time? It was perfect. But the story does not end there because after I got home from the dance that night, I like took a shower. I was still feeling really great. I was like, dude,
yeah,
I might have a chance here. So I decided instead to just text her to be my girlfriend. Because I was like, well, I'd rather just ask now and see instead of just like...
Yeah, that's gotta be like top 10 things girls find attractive. This guy too scared to ask me in real life, so he DMs me. Yeah.
So I remember texting her. I was like, hey, I had a really great time at the dance tonight. Do you want to be my girlfriend? And that was literally like the longest minute ever. Was waiting for her reply.
What did you expect? You expect like, yes, that soda was so good. And I loved that awkward 2 minutes I spent with you where you just sweated all over your soda and then drank it. Like, what were you thinking she was gonna hit you back with?
Because Alex said that she thought I was cute. It was probably only a minute for her to reply, but it felt like an hour. And I got the text, I opened it, and then it read, hey, unfortunately, I wish I could, but my mom won't let me date boys yet. And so she basically, I don't know if that was because that actually was what was going down or if she was just didn't want to say no. But Alex texted me, he's like, yo, like, did you ask her out? Because I told him about my plan.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I asked her and she said no. I thought you said that she thought I was cute. And he was like, oh, I completely forgot to ask her, but I just lied to you so that you would ask her out anyways. So I don't even know if she thought I was cute.
Dude.
And I got rejected.
Alex is 900 IQ, dude. You got baited, dude.
Yeah.
You got troll. You got Rick Roll, baby. Wow, Alex a genius.
That's something you would do.
No.
No?
No.
You wouldn't set me up like that?
No, I would not.
Really?
No, I would not. Okay, I can only roast you so much because this story I'm about to tell was tragic. There was this girl, and I definitely thought she was very wonderful. Okay, just a great human being.
What's her name?
Her name was Olivia, and I thought she was a very nice person. I was like, she's nice. She seems like she'd be a good human being, which she turned out not to be. Now, this story takes place when I was in high school, so I didn't really understand what was going on. I was just like, I'm gonna be a nice person to everybody, you know, guys and girls included, and just be friendly. Like, I want to make friends above all else, okay? So me and Olivia, we were like friends-ish. She was always nice to me, okay? But what I learned later was that this was her pattern of behavior in order to manipulate people.
Wait, what?
Now, let me set this up, okay? So, there was one break from school, okay? I was at home chilling, you know, playing video games, you know, just having a great old time, okay? It was snowing. It was like winter break, okay? And Olivia, out of nowhere, texts me on the internet and says, Justy, I'm out of town. I need you to go save my dog's life.
Wait, what?
Okay, so basically...
She left her dog home alone?
No. Okay, so Olivia had a dog, a little pupper, okay, sitting at home, and she apparently had like a babysitter to like go watch it. But then she was like, on this day, she was like, the babysitter is snowed in, they live on a hill, they can't go drive to go see the pupper and feed it, you gotta help me out. And so I thought,
Your time to shine.
It is time for me to save the day. I'm gonna go save this pupper's life, and then I'm gonna win her heart.
Okay.
That's what I thought. It was very late at night this day when I got that message. I'm like, bruh, it's snowing outside. It's dark outside. I'm not allowed to leave my house without telling my parents. And I didn't want to tell my parents because I was like, what a lame thing to tell your parents.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go leave and like help feed this girl's dog, even though she just clearly is using me. I didn't tell him, so I snuck out, which was a very bad idea. So there I am walking down the street. It is very cold. It is snowing. It is a terrible experience. At one point, this car pulled up next to me. I still remember this. I was walking down the sidewalk and it was dark. It was nighttime. A car pulled up next to me and just started following me like super slow. I mean, I'm just like a kid walking alone down streets at night. It was not safe, okay? I finally got to the house, okay? And I pulled out my phone and I messaged Olivia. I said, hey, you gotta tell me like the code to like get into your house, so like with like the alarm system. I gotta go in and feed this pupper.
Oh no.
I wait.
Did you get ghosted?
I wait 10 minutes. I wait 15 minutes. I'm getting cold. I'm getting frostbitten.
Can you see the dog in the house?
The dog's like at the window like, help.
Crying.
No, I waited 1 hour in the cold. She never texted me back.
The whole way she never texted you?
No, she did like the next day, but like that night, like nothing.
So you just had to walk back home?
I walked back home. The next day I said, dude, what happened? I went all the way, I snuck out, I almost got abducted. She left me on red. And she left her dog unfed. Dude, I texted her the next day, I said, hello, what happened? And she just nonchalantly, blase, said, oh, actually, I had a friend swing by and drop off some kibble. I just fell asleep and forgot to text you, so yeah, sorry.
You got played!
And that was the last time I did anything nice for anybody. I was trying to save a pupper's life, and instead I got played. Now I'm the CEO of two things. I'm the CEO of Justy Corp International Inc. And I'm the CEO of Gang News.